So when you think about your company's tech, are you the one in the driver's seat, or are you more of a passenger? Today we're going to break down the world of cloud computing, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, using a pretty simple analogy. Let's figure out who's really behind the wheel.
All right, let's start with this question. Is managing your own IT kind of like owning a car? Think about it for a second. When you own a car, everything is on you. You've got to buy it, insure it, put gas in it, handle all the maintenance, all the repairs. If a tire goes flat on the highway, yep, that's your problem. For a long time, this is exactly how businesses had to handle their IT.
And that really gets to the heart of the difference between the old way and the new way. On one hand, you've got your traditional on-premises IT. That's where you buy the servers, you rack them, you install all the software, you run the data center. The whole shebang is on your shoulders. But on the other hand, you've got cloud computing. Here, a provider owns and manages all that stuff, and you just use it as a service. You get to share the workload.
Now, the big idea that makes all this possible is something called abstraction. And really, the goal is super simple. It's all about hiding complexity. You don't need to be a mechanic to drive a car, right? The engine's complexity is hidden from you, so you can just focus on getting where you need to go. Well, cloud computing does the exact same thing for your IT, letting you focus on your actual business, not on fiddling with servers.
So, if doing everything yourself is like owning a car, what are your other choices? Let's check out the different cloud models by sticking with our transportation analogy. We're talking about a big shift from a world of total ownership to a world of service.
And here it is. This slide lays out our whole roadmap. Our starting point is on-premises. That's owning the car. Then you have infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, which is like leasing a car. You get to pick it and drive it, but you don't actually own it. Next up, platform as a service, or PaaS. Think of this as taking a taxi. You just tell the driver your destination. And finally, software as a service, SaaS, is like riding the bus. It runs on a set route, and you're on it with a bunch of other people.
Okay, so this all really boils down to a fundamental trade-off, and it's all about control versus convenience. Let's break down each of these service models and see exactly what you're on the hook for versus what the provider handles for you.
First up, IaaS, infrastructure as a service. This is our leasing a car model. The cloud provider gives you all the basic building blocks, the compute, the storage, the networking, but you're still in the driver's seat. You're the one installing the operating system, the databases, all your applications. You have the most control here, but that also means you have the most responsibility.
Then we have PaaS, platform as a service. This is our taxi. Here, the provider manages not just the hardware, but also the operating system and all the development tools. All you have to do is show up with your application and your data. You basically just tell the taxi where you want to go, and the driver worries about the car, the traffic, and the route. It's fantastic for developers who just want to build things without worrying about the underlying plumbing.
And finally, there's SaaS, software as a service. This is the bus. It's a completely finished, ready-to-use application you get over the internet. Think Gmail or Slack or Google Docs. The provider manages literally everything. The hardware, the software, the patches, the updates, you just get on and use it. It's by far the most convenient option, but you have the least control. You can't just ask the bus driver to take a different route, right?
This table just nails that trade-off. Just look at the You Manage column. As you go down the list from IaaS to SaaS, the stuff you have to worry about shrinks a lot. With IaaS, you're still doing a ton of management. With PaaS, you're really just focused on your app and your data. And by the time you get to SaaS, you're managing almost nothing. You're basically swapping control for convenience.
Okay, but this all leads to a really critical question. If you're handing over so much of the work, who's responsible when something goes wrong? More importantly, who holds the keys when it comes to security? This is where we have to talk about something called the shared responsibility model.
Here's the most important thing to get. Moving to the cloud is a partnership. Yeah, you're offloading a ton of work, but you can't ever offload all of the responsibility. Security is a team sport, and you absolutely have to know where the provider's job ends and your job begins.
This quote says it all perfectly. The cloud provider, they're responsible for the security of the cloud. That means the physical buildings, the servers, the networking cables. But you, the customer, are always responsible for security in the cloud. That's what you build on it and how you configure it.
And why is this so incredibly important? Well, get this. According to Gartner, through 2025, a jaw-dropping 99% of cloud security failures will be the customer's fault. It's not because the cloud itself is insecure, it's because of how people use it and configure it. That just makes understanding your role absolutely non-negotiable.
All right, so let's make this real.
We're going to actually visualize this responsibility spectrum so you can see exactly who is on the hook for what in each of these cloud models.
Before we even look at the chart, here's a really simple rule of thumb you can always come back to. If you're the one who configures it or stores it, then you're the one who's responsible for securing it. It's a powerful little phrase to keep in mind.
Okay, check out this chart. It lays everything out. See on the far left, on-prem, it's all blue. That means it's all your responsibility. Now, move one column over to IaaS. See, the provider takes over the bottom layers, the hardware, the networking, that stuff turns yellow. With PaaS, even more turns yellow, like the operating system. And when you get all the way over to SaaS, almost everything is yellow. The provider is managing almost the whole stack.
But, and this is a huge but, look closely. Even in that SaaS column, where the provider does almost everything, some things always stay blue. You are always responsible for your data. You are always responsible for who has access to that data. Think of that stuff as your crown jewels. Their security is always on you, no matter which model you choose.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Now that you see the different options and what they really mean, you can answer the question for yourself. When it comes to your IT, what do you want to be? Do you want to be the driver, with your hands on the wheel and total control? A passenger who just gives the directions? Or are you happy to be just along for the ride, trusting the driver to get you there safely? The choice is yours.